Archaeologists open China's largest 2,500-year-old tomb, and what they find shocks them. 5 decades ago, China made a groundbreaking archaeological discovery that shocked the world. A series of relics that set many different records were found in a water tomb nearly 2,500 years old. The history of a small kingdom from the Warring States period was brought to light after being buried underground for 1,000 years. Specifically, in the late 1970s, Chinese archaeologists unexpectedly discovered an ancient tomb near the ancient city of Sui Prefecture, the hometown of the legendary Emperor Yan, the god of agriculture in Hubei Province, China. That year, when the Chinese army was clearing a mountain to build barracks at the site of the Lei Gu Wen area, they unexpectedly discovered signs of an ancient tomb. The color and soil structure were different from the surrounding areas. Experts immediately arrived at the scene. The archaeological team had to move nearly 50 large stones and a thick layer of peat to access the tomb, which covered an area of 2,370 square feet, was 42.5 feet deep, and was filled with water. After conducting an initial survey, the experts determined that this was the tomb of Zhang Ho Yi, also known as Ji Yi, the king of the Zhang Kingdom, a vassal state under the Zhou Dynasty during the early Warring States period in Chinese history. This news quickly sent shockwaves through the archaeological community and China at large for several reasons. First, the discovery of an emperor's tomb was of immense archaeological value. Second, inside this vast tomb, several hundred feet underground, were countless unparalleled relics in the history of the country. As the owner of the tomb, Zhang Ho Yi attracted tremendous attention from tomb enthusiasts, despite the lack of historical records about this figure. The small Zhang kingdom thus became famous worldwide after nearly 2,500 years of being forgotten by time. It can be said that the discovery of Zhang Ho Yi's tomb is one of the most crucial archaeological finds in China. So, what unique treasures were found inside this 1,000-year-old water tomb? First, there is the 7-ton coffin, the heaviest in the world, surrounded by the remains of 21 beautiful women. After draining the water from the tomb, the team of experts worked day and night to clean the interior, as it was filled with peat on all sides. After removing over 68,000 pounds of peat from above the main coffin, the team found a large wooden coffin weighing 7 tons at the center, exquisitely crafted and well-preserved despite being over 1,000 years old. The person inside the coffin was the owner of this extravagant tomb, Zhang Ho Yi, who passed away at the age of 45. To this day, this is the heaviest ancient coffin ever found in the world. Not only that, but around the main coffin were a total of 21 smaller coffins. The remains inside were all female, aged between 13 and 24. Archaeologists believe these 21 women were likely beautiful dancers who served the king during his life. After the king's death, they were sacrificed to accompany him in the afterlife. Next, there is the orphan treasure, a relic that even modern technology cannot replicate. After the discovery of the 7-ton coffin, a large team of Chinese archaeologists focused on finding other artifacts inside the tomb. After months of work, they uncovered approximately 15,404 artifacts of various sizes, materials, and shapes. Among these, over 6,200 were made of bronze. The most remarkable of these was a bronze drumstand, about 20 inches tall and weighing nearly 440 pounds. Upon seeing this treasure, modern Chinese craftsmen were astonished at the exceptional skill of the ancient artisans from 2,500 years ago. One expert from the Zhang Ho Yi tomb excavation even exclaimed, "I am completely amazed and in awe of the exceptional craftsmanship of ancient sculptors. This bronze drum stand is the only one of its kind in the world, and even advanced technology cannot replicate, imitate, or counterfeit this marvelous cultural artifact." This bronze drum stand was an essential part of the drum, a popular musical instrument in the Zhang Kingdom. The drum was made up of 3 parts: the drum, the stand, and the drum base. The base was especially valued by ancient craftsmen. The treasures in the tomb of Zhang Ho Yi include many dragon statues, with 16 large dragons and dozens of smaller ones. Though made of bronze, these hundreds of dragons appear lifelike, evoking a mystical sensation and attracting viewers. They are exquisitely detailed and complex to perfection, considered the highest treasures of ancient bronze crafting. What confuses experts is that they do not know exactly how many dragons there are, as all the dragon statues on the drum stand are entwined and climbing upwards in a proud pose. This is why it is impossible to replicate these treasures. Because they cannot be copied, the Zhang Yi drumstand is regarded as a one-of-a-kind orphan treasure in the world. Lastly, the bronze relic that showcases the highest level of craftsmanship of ancient Chinese artisans is the bronze bell set of Zhang Yi. Experts believe this is the most complete and largest set of bronze bells ever discovered in China. In 2018, the CPPCC Museum of Culture and History, China, published an article by the director of the Hubei Provincial Archaeological Society, commemorating the 40th anniversary of the discovery of this groundbreaking tomb complex. The article described the discovery of this rare set of bronze bells. The bell set was placed in the western part of the middle room of the tomb. The bell frame was divided into 3 levels: top, middle, and bottom. The topmost level was divided into 3 stands, all of which held small bells, a total of 19. The middle stand was supported by 3 bronze warriors with 33 medium-sized bells. Even rarer were the 13 large bells on the bottom level, which were still hanging on the frame and supported by 3 other bronze warriors. The hardest to retrieve were the large bells on the bottom level. Most of them weighed over 220 pounds, with some weighing more than 440 pounds and measuring 5 feet high. The size alone was astonishing. The fine details on the bells, along with the inscriptions, made historians marvel at the skill of the ancient artisans. Everything was crafted with great precision. The sound of the bells, deep and resonant, is so unique that it is nearly impossible to replicate. Therefore, this bronze bell set can be considered the pinnacle of bronze musical instruments from the Warring States period, and it is regarded as a national treasure by China. In addition to the thousands of bronze relics, the tomb of Zhang Yi also contained a vast array of weapons. Over 4,000 arrowheads were discovered. This is the highest number of arrowheads ever excavated from a tomb in China. There were also other main weapons, including swords, spears, halberds, and bows. The discovery of this tomb is of great significance for studying the history of the pre-Qin period. The history of military weapons, ancient rituals, and various bronze casting techniques in this tomb has become clearer than ever before. In terms of art and craftsmanship, there are outstanding works of sculpture, modeling, painting, and carving, some of which have set precedents for future generations of artists. The harvest is so immense it is impossible to list everything. But my friends, this is not the only discovery I want to share with you. In recent years, archaeologists have made countless discoveries that carry deep historical significance, along with many secrets hidden behind them. So, what are these discoveries? Let's continue and explore more in the next part of this video. The Forgotten Church, nearly 1,000 years ago. In 1066, under the banner of Duke William of Normandy, later known as William the Conqueror, thousands of warriors from Normandy, Brittany, Flanders, and France landed in England. In the pivotal Battle of Hastings, they defeated King Harold II's army, marking the start of a completely new era. After this victory, William quickly took control of the southeast of England, seizing Dover, Winchester, and advancing straight to London. By Christmas of that year, he was officially crowned as the first king of the Norman dynasty in England. However, what the Normans brought was not just a political overhaul. Under their rule, the entire social structure, legal system, and land ownership of England were rewritten. They built imposing fortresses, implemented Norman law, and left an enduring mark that remains to this day. During his territorial expansion, William passed through a remote area in the parish of Stoke. Here, about half a mile from the main village, stood a solitary church called St. Mary's. Built around 1080, this church was located in a low-lying area, surrounded only by desolate fields. Over the centuries, the church was gradually forgotten, and when a new church was built in a more accessible location in the 19th century, St. Mary's fell into ruin, eventually being demolished, marking the end of a chapter in history that seemed to be closed forever. Yet, nearly a millennium later, the fate of this church took a sudden turn. When the UK government began its HS2 high-speed rail project through the area, they unknowingly uncovered a historical treasure trove. A team of archaeologists led by Dr. Rachel Wood began excavating the site that had once been the foundation of St. Mary's Church and discovered thousands of ancient graves, along with numerous artifacts from various periods. These findings weren't limited to the Norman era. As they dug deeper, archaeologists uncovered the remnants of an Anglo-Saxon church, built before the Normans ever arrived. Evidence from the Bronze and Iron Ages, as well as traces of Roman activity, were also found, proving that this area had long been an important cultural crossroads over the centuries. Among the most striking discoveries were square flint walls, about 1 meter wide, surrounded by a circular ditch. This design closely resembles that of another Saxon church still standing in Barton upon Humber, near the Humber estuary, further emphasizing the sacred and ancient nature of the site. In September 2021, Dr. Wood shared that the remains of the church, including the stone walls and floor, will help us better understand the period before the Norman church was built in 1080. She affirmed that this is a rare opportunity for archaeologists to access direct evidence from the pre-Norman era, a period that has rarely been fully documented in historical records. And if you think the story ends there, prepare yourself. During the excavation, they also discovered the shoulders and heads of 2 life-sized Roman busts buried in a dark-colored urn, along with several cremation urns, an intricately crafted glass vessel, and particularly a decapitated skeleton bearing signs of brutal torture before death. What has been revealed from the ground in Stoke not only revives a forgotten past, but also raises new questions about England's pre-medieval history. And the biggest question is, how many more secrets are waiting to be uncovered right beneath our feet? Perhaps we'll never know, but hopefully in the future, archaeologists will reveal even more of these hidden truths. Prehistoric woman skeleton at the heart of ancient Rome. In the very heart of ancient Roman civilization, a place where the sound of generals' horses once echoed and where speeches changed the course of world history, an ancient secret has suddenly surfaced from the earth. And the most surprising part? This secret predates the founding of Rome itself. During an excavation in the Roman Forum, still considered the symbol of the power of the ancient Roman Empire, Italian archaeologists discovered the nearly complete skeleton of a woman believed to have been buried there over 3,000 years ago. This discovery immediately shocked the archaeological community, not only because of the ancient age of the bones, but also because they date back at least 300 years before Rome was officially founded in 753 BCE. For decades, researchers have suspected that the land where the Romans later built their great capital was inhabited as far back as the Bronze Age. However, concrete evidence has been incredibly rare. This discovery is a crucial piece of evidence that sheds light on the prehistoric period of the area and unveils a society that existed long before the mighty empire we admire today. Anna DeSantis, one of the archaeologists involved in the excavation, stated that the woman likely died around the age of 30. The items found alongside the skeleton suggest that she was no ordinary person. An amber necklace with a gold pendant, an intricately designed copper hairpin, and a copper ring on her finger. 4 small copper hooks, perhaps used to fasten a burial shroud, were also found around the burial site. These details suggest that she may have been a member of the aristocracy, or at least a person of high status in society at the time. What is particularly significant is that this woman was buried, rather than cremated, a custom that goes against the prevalent burial practices of ancient Italian residents. Traditionally, the ancestors of the Romans would cremate the body, store the ashes in ceramic urns, and place them in sacred locations. The burial of this woman in such a unique manner not only highlights the distinct cultural practices of the prehistoric period, but also marks a transitional phase in burial customs, from cremation to interment. Archaeologists were especially thrilled to realize that this ancient gravesite was not far from the location where Julius Caesar was cremated nearly 1,000 years later after his infamous assassination in the Roman Senate. The timing, location, and burial method all seem to silently link 2 distinct periods: an unnamed ancient civilization and a mighty empire that changed the course of human history. This discovery is not just the finding of a skeleton buried for 3,000 years. It is a whisper from the past, reminding us that the history of Rome, though studied for centuries, still holds many undiscovered secrets. And sometimes, all it takes is the turning of the soil at the right spot for an entire forgotten chapter of history to come alive once more. Pre-Inca baby mummy in Peru. A mummy, not of a king, warrior, or leader, but of a child, has rested for over a millennium beneath the earth, now brought to light at the very heart of the once thriving South American civilization. We are talking about the Puruchuco archaeological site, located in Lima, Peru, an ancient burial ground from the Inca period, considered one of the largest burial sites ever discovered in South America. However, the surprising part is that the recently discovered baby mummy does not belong to the Inca period, but dates much earlier, opening up fascinating hypotheses about the pre-Inca cultures that once thrived in this area. This astonishing discovery occurred not during a large-scale archaeological dig, but rather during a topographical survey for the construction of a new road by the Peruvian government. Beneath the arid soil, where generations of ancient people once walked, archaeologists stumbled upon a gateway to history. They found not just one, but dozens of mummies, contained within a complex of 26 tombs, including both adults and children. These tombs were carefully arranged, as if someone had poured both love and religious faith into every layer of earth covering them. Guillermo Koch, one of the leading archaeologists on the project, reported that 40 mummies have now been discovered, with more expected to be uncovered as further excavations continue. Remarkably, despite being over 1,000 years old, many of the mummies are still in excellent condition, a testament to the sophisticated mummification techniques of ancient Peruvian cultures. He emphasized that only 10% of the Puruchuco site has been excavated in the past 60 years, yet over 2,000 mummies, hundreds of intricately woven textiles, ancient ceramics, and even coins made of copper, silver, and gold have been found. This raises an intriguing question. How many more secrets lie deep beneath that silent soil? The recently discovered baby mummy has been transferred to a museum for preservation and in-depth study. Experts hope that, from this small set of remains, they can learn more about life, customs, beliefs, and death in this ancient society. In recent years, Peru has become a hotspot for archaeology, with thousands of mummies uncovered. One of the most famous discoveries is the Juanita Ice Maiden, the mummy of a young girl found at the peak of a mountain, frozen in the cold ice and snow. She is believed to have been sacrificed in a religious ceremony and is so well preserved that one of her eyes remains intact, leaving scientists in awe of the mummification techniques used more than 500 years ago. The mummy of an Egyptian girl adorned with jewelry. In a dramatic excavation under the scorching sun of Egypt, Miriam Siko and her team of archaeologists made a miraculous discovery hidden deep within the earth. This site is located in an ancient burial ground beneath the mysterious temple of Pharaoh Thutmose III on the western bank of the Nile River in the city of Luxor. What the scientists found was not only a rare discovery, but also a breakthrough in unraveling the mysteries of ancient civilization. Buried around 4,000 years ago, the mummy of a woman, though damaged, still bore many marks of the glory from her life before death. Through scientific analysis, experts determined that this woman was about 30 years old when she lived, belonged to a high social class, and likely lived between 2137 and 1781 BCE. This was the golden age of ancient Egyptian civilization, where individuals of noble blood and high status were typically buried in cemeteries near grand temples like the Temple of Thutmose III. One of the most striking aspects of this discovery is that the mummy and her wooden sarcophagus have been preserved almost intact, despite being beneath a collapsed roof for thousands of years. The collapsed roof helped protect her jewelry and belongings from being stolen, an extraordinary circumstance, as many valuable artifacts in Egypt have been plundered over time. Notably, the necklace adorned with precious gems and exquisite gold pieces left the archaeological community in awe. Not only the necklace, but the sarcophagus also contained other treasures, such as 2 gold bracelets made from 2 twisted pieces of metal, along with a silver ankle bracelet. The gold items were intricately crafted, displaying the wealth and high status of this woman. Although the anklets had worn over time, the gold pendant and bracelets have remained remarkably well preserved, offering a clear example of the fine craftsmanship of ancient Egyptian jewelers. Researchers believe this burial site could have been a special cemetery for high-ranking officials and wealthy individuals in ancient Egyptian society. These findings reinforce the idea that beneath the temple of Thutmose III, there was not only a sacred place of worship, but also the final resting place for influential members of society who played significant roles in the prosperity of the Egyptian empire. The presence of such treasures suggests that this woman may have held a very special position in society. What remains of her is not only an artifact, but also a story of a bygone golden age, still preserved beneath the earth and in the hearts of those passionate about archaeology. If I were to say that this discovery opens a door to exploring the history of ancient Egypt and serves as a testament to the durability of cultural heritage, which has endured through millennia to tell the stories of those who once lived under the skies of this glorious civilization, it would not be an exaggeration, would it? 3,000-year-old gold mask in China. When we think of ancient civilizations, many might immediately recall famous wonders like the Egyptian pyramids or the Greek temples. However, few are aware that one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in the world is currently unfolding in China, at a site known as Sanxingdui, located in the southwestern part of the country. Recently, a gold mask over 3,000 years old was uncovered, attracting the attention of archaeologists and history enthusiasts alike. This gold mask was found among hundreds of artifacts in the sacrificial pit at the Sanxingdui ruins in Sichuan Province. This famous archaeological site, located not far from Chengdu, has witnessed many incredible discoveries throughout decades of excavation. The gold mask is not only a priceless artifact, but also an important piece in understanding the ancient Shu civilization. According to the Sichuan Provincial Cultural Heritage Bureau, the mask was discovered in June 2024, but the information was only publicly released in early September. Weighing about 3.5 ounces, the mask is exquisitely crafted and was initially believed to be an independent object. However, further analysis revealed that it was likely part of a larger bronze head, not a standalone item as originally thought. This discovery has sparked intriguing speculations about the mask's role in ancient religious ceremonies. Researchers believe this golden mask dates back to the late Tang Dynasty, which lasted until 1046 BCE, a golden period in Chinese history. This discovery is not only a major step forward in uncovering the ancient civilization, but also a testament to the creativity and sophistication of ancient Chinese craftsmanship in making ritualistic objects. In addition to the gold mask, archaeologists found a series of other valuable artifacts, including ivory items, a jade dagger, ceremonial vessels known as zun, and numerous small bronze statues. These artifacts hold immense historical value, offering specialists a deeper insight into the cultural and religious life of the people during that era. The Sanxingdui site is no stranger to archaeologists. In the 1980s, excavators uncovered 2 ritual pits containing over 1,000 items, including exquisitely crafted bronze masks. After a long hiatus in excavations, a series of new pits were discovered at the end of 2019, leading to unexpected finds in 2020. These pits are believed to have been sites for ritual ceremonies where items were burned and buried in special rites. What is particularly remarkable about these recent discoveries is that they not only shed light on the cultural values of the time, but also confirm the extraordinary imagination and creativity of the ancient Chinese. As Tang Fei, director of the Sichuan Provincial Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology, stated, "These discoveries prove that the imagination and creativity of ancient Chinese people exceeded anything we could have imagined today." Today, Sanxingdui is not just an important archaeological site, but also a fascinating destination for those passionate about exploring history. Although it has yet to be recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it has been placed on the tentative list and has the potential to become one of the most prominent archaeological sites in the world in the future. With continuous new discoveries, Sanxingdui is gradually revealing the precious secrets of the ancient Shu civilization, a brilliant civilization that remains largely unknown to many. Every artifact, every relic found here is not just a mark of the past, but an endless source of inspiration for future discoveries on the journey to understand human history. The 2,000-year-old pizza painting in Pompeii. When we think of pizza, most of us immediately associate it with a modern fast food, popular in today's society. But have you ever considered that pizza might have existed over 2,000 years ago? A recent discovery at Pompeii has astonished archaeologists and completely changed our understanding of the origins of this beloved dish. Specifically, while excavating in the Regio 9 area, one of the most upscale parts of Pompeii, archaeologists uncovered an ancient fresco depicting a special dining scene. What's surprising is that on the table in this vivid and complete scene, there appears to be a dish that we can't help but associate with pizza. But don't rush to imagine the pizzas with cheese and toppings that we know today, as this dish had a very different appearance, resembling a flatbread made with ingredients of the time, prepared in a creative way by the people of Pompeii. This discovery is truly shocking because, until now, pizza was thought to be a medieval dish in Italy, with origins in flatbreads. However, the presence of the ancestor of pizza in this fresco suggests that the idea of a quick meal like pizza may have existed much earlier, possibly even during ancient Roman times. This raises the question, does the pizza we know today actually have a longer history than we ever imagined? According to Gabriel Zuchtriegel, director of the Pompeii Archaeological Park, this fresco is not simply a depiction of a meal, but also reflects part of the Greek tradition of hospitality, a theme that was very common in Roman art. The bread depicted in the painting could have been a type of flatbread baked in an oven, very similar to modern dishes we still see today, but modified with ingredients and cooking techniques of the time. The fresco was discovered in a villa that has been excavated since the 19th century, located in the heart of Pompeii. The house was buried under volcanic ash from Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE, but now, with what remains, we can imagine part of the lavish lifestyle of ancient Roman residents. It's fascinating to see that alongside the fresco, archaeologists also found a large oven, proving that preparing and enjoying dishes like pizza might have been part of daily life for the people of Pompeii. Additionally, during the excavation, archaeologists found the remains of 3 unfortunate victims who perished in the volcanic disaster more than 2,000 years ago. But what's even more astonishing is that these findings are not the only ones that have left archaeologists in awe. Previous research at Pompeii has revealed many timeless features, such as roads with sophisticated repair techniques similar to modern-day streets, fine architectural structures with amenities almost like those of the 21st century, and even a takeaway food stall in the city center. Pompeii has always been a treasure trove for archaeologists, not only because of discoveries about Roman culture and daily life, but also for the elements that go beyond our imagination of the past. And now, with the discovery of this ancient pizza, we must once again reconsider the history of food and culinary culture. The mysterious foot-shaped object. Lao Wang, a farmer in Yunnan, China, would go up the mountain every day to dig for medicinal herbs. This time, while digging for ginseng, he suddenly noticed a strange object nearby. Lao Wang felt that its shape seemed unusual. He then used a spade to dig around the object to get a better look. However, when Lao Wang saw what he had uncovered, he was so frightened that he immediately screamed. It turned out that what Lao Wang had dug up was an object that closely resembled a human foot. Lao Wang ran down the mountain and called everyone in the village to come see. After calming down, he called the police to report the situation. A group of police officers, along with the village chief and some brave villagers, went to the spot where Lao Wang had found the foot. To Lao Wang's surprise, after examining the mysterious foot, the officers burst out laughing. It turned out that what Lao Wang had found was not a human foot at all, but a type of tuber that they did not recognize. A plant expert was sent to the scene, and the expert explained that the foot-shaped object was actually a purple yam. According to the expert, the purple yam Lao Wang had found had a very unusual shape. It even looked like a human foot with toes and nails, which is why Lao Wang mistook it for a human foot. Furthermore, the yam was unusually large in size. The expert suggested that Lao Wang was quite lucky to have found such a special yam. He even believed that if Lao Wang sold it in the city, someone would definitely pay a high price for it. Purple yam is a type of vine plant with multiple tubers, scientifically named Dioscorea alata. This plant originates from the tropical regions of Asia and is mostly found in the southern parts of China, Indonesia, Africa, India, and Malaysia. Purple yams are much larger than sweet potatoes. They have a rough outer skin and many roots. The flesh of the purple yam is usually purple, though some varieties may be white or light purple. Purple yam is a plant that thrives in hot, humid conditions. Under natural conditions, the plant produces tubers after 2-3 months. The yam has a sweet, starchy flavor and when cooked, becomes soft and smooth like a potato. It is commonly used to make both sweet and savory dishes. Purple yams are a highly nutritious food that provides abundant energy. In particular, purple yam is rich in minerals, antioxidants, and essential vitamins that are beneficial to human health. Not only is purple yam good for the heart, but it also helps with weight loss and obesity. According to experts, eating purple yam helps the body feel full for longer. The mysterious tomb of an aristocrat from the Tang Dynasty in China. Archaeologists in Shanxi Province, China, made a remarkable discovery when they unearthed an ancient tomb from the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 AD. This discovery is not only a historical breakthrough, but also a journey that opens up fascinating stories about art, beliefs, and the lives of people during one of China's golden eras. After several years of excavation, archaeologists have started to reveal some of the mysteries hidden in this tomb. The first thing that astonished them was the entrance gate to the tomb complex, which was decorated with spiral plant motifs, typical of Tang Dynasty art. These intricate details not only demonstrated meticulous craftsmanship, but also reflected the beliefs of that time, showcasing a fusion of nature and contemporary culture. Alongside the gate, a pair of statues, cloaked in robes and standing majestically, were likely guardians of the tomb, symbolizing the presence of the spiritual world and supernatural powers. As they ventured further inside, the archaeologists uncovered a passage leading to the main burial chamber. Notably, the ceiling of this passage was conical in shape and adorned with depictions of four mythical creatures from Chinese mythology, including a dragon, symbolizing supreme power, and a phoenix, representing rebirth and prosperity. These images were not only symbolic, but also reflected the deep spiritual values of Tang China. Upon entering the main burial chamber, the archaeologists were once again astonished by the exquisite walls. On these walls were vivid murals that depicted various aspects of daily life, from scenes of people strolling through peaceful rural landscapes to lush green treetops above. This is the characteristic tree-based style of the Tang Dynasty, a form of art that emphasized naturalism and harmony with the environment. These murals were not just beautiful works of art, but also narratives about humans and their relationship with nature and the universe. What made this tomb even more enigmatic was the use of bright colors in the paintings. White, red, yellow, black, green, and orange not only brought the images on the walls and ceiling to life, but also demonstrated the advanced painting techniques of the Tang era. These colors were not just for aesthetic purposes. They may also have symbolized natural and cosmic elements, signifying the intersection of the earthly and spiritual worlds. Although the tomb has been dated to the 8th century, the identity of its occupant remains a great mystery. Some hypotheses suggest that this might be the tomb of a significant figure from the Tang Dynasty. In fact, some researchers speculate that the artist who created these murals might have been the same person who decorated the tomb of Shen Jun, the founding emperor of the Ming Dynasty during the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period. This only adds to the mystery of the tomb and has attracted considerable attention from archaeologists and history enthusiasts. This ancient tomb is not only a vibrant testament to the cultural and artistic development of Tang China, but also a treasure trove of mysteries related to the people, life, and beliefs of more than 1,000 years ago. It is clear that these discoveries are one of the clearest pieces of evidence that open the door for us to understand more about this glorious period in history. What do you think about these findings? Feel free to leave your comments below. 6,000-year-old desert fortress. Have you ever thought that in the arid, desolate desert of Jordan, a place where life seems nearly impossible, there once existed a brilliant civilization so advanced that it would astonish the world today? It's hard to imagine, right? But this story is absolutely true. Recently, archaeologists discovered a massive fortress that is 6,000 years old, hidden beneath the scorching sands of the Jordanian desert. The existence of this monumental structure has raised numerous puzzling questions for the scientific community. Why was a fortress built in a place where life seems impossible? Who were the people who lived here? And how did they manage to survive in such a harsh environment? The fortress shows no signs of war, nor any indication that a large conflict ever took place. Instead, what has been uncovered paints a very different picture. A peaceful yet highly advanced community, with technical and intellectual abilities far ahead of their time. Researchers found an intricate system of water channels, dams, and irrigation, a remarkable feat for an area that is now so dry that almost no water exists throughout the year. These ancient people used porous volcanic rock to store water, and they built wells around wadis, dry riverbeds that only contain water during the rainy season, to create a sustainable water supply for daily life and agriculture. Their agricultural techniques were so sophisticated that they are awe-inspiring. They directed rainwater to elevated gardens, utilizing silt and sediment to fertilize the crops. The remnants show that they not only farmed and raised livestock, primarily goats and sheep, to meet their own needs, but they also engaged in trade and exchanged goods with other settlements. What's even more impressive is that they were involved in the textile and garment industry, a field typically associated with much more advanced societies. Wool fibers, leather, even cheese and salted meat all were produced here. By the mid-4th millennium BCE, the Mesopotamian region, which includes modern-day northern Iraq, was the world's first textile production center, and the fortress in the Jordanian desert seems to have been part of this vibrant economic network. Aerial photographs reveal 3 residential areas atop a mountain, with solid stone walls and systematically constructed buildings, evidence that this was an organized community with long-term development plans. So, what caused them to abandon it all and leave? There are no signs of conflict, no evidence that they were forced out. The one clear thing is that they left voluntarily at an undetermined time. Perhaps they realized that living in the desert, no matter how advanced their system was, couldn't support a thriving society forever. A fortress, a civilization, and a multitude of unanswered questions. What truly happened to them? And beneath the dry sands, how many more secrets are waiting to be uncovered? It's hard to say, but this discovery certainly changes our long-held belief that deserts are just endless stretches of sand, with no life to be found. The 1,000-year-old city wall. You've probably heard of the Silk Road, a place where the East and West met, where ancient civilizations exchanged goods, traded, and shared cultural ideas. Recently, archaeologists discovered an extraordinary remnant of a legendary kingdom once located along this vital trade route, the Kingdom of Lulan. Its location today lies in the northeastern part of the Lop Desert in Xinjiang, northwest China, where ancient mysteries are gradually being revealed through meticulous excavations. According to experts from the Xinjiang Autonomous Region Archaeological Institute, the recently discovered city wall is round, with a diameter of up to 984 feet. Although only remnants remain, the foundation of the wall is clearly visible, with a width ranging from 7.2 feet to 8.9 feet. The remaining part of the wall stands at 8.2 feet, providing a clear view of the scale of this once mighty structure. These walls not only serve as evidence of an ancient civilization, but also symbolize the significant development of the Kingdom of Lulan, which played an important role in cross-continental trade along the Silk Road. What is particularly interesting is that archaeologists did not just uncover remnants of the city wall, but also discovered numerous valuable artifacts in nearby tombs. These items included wooden plates, bronze mirrors, wooden combs, and fabrics, precious relics that provide a deeper understanding of the lifestyle and culture of the Lulan people. Notably, through carbon dating, the archaeologists have estimated that the site dates back to the late Eastern Han period, 25 to 220 AD, marking a crucial phase in Chinese history. The Kingdom of Lulan, according to historical records, existed as early as the 2nd century BC and became an important transit point on the Silk Road. However, due to its remote location, surrounded by desert and influenced by factors like water sources and warfare, Lulan had to move its capital several times. In 108 BC, the Han Dynasty defeated Lulan and turned it into a vassal state, making the Lulan Kingdom a puppet state under the Han Empire. Eventually, Lulan disappeared during the Tang Dynasty. The ruins of Lulan were first discovered in 1900 by Swedish explorer Sven Hedin, and the remnants of this kingdom have captured the attention of archaeologists and history enthusiasts alike. Hedin had previously discovered a square wall about 35 miles from the recently uncovered round wall. This suggests that the ruins of Lulan still hold many secrets, and future excavations may bring forth further important discoveries. These excavations have received strong support from the Chinese government, with funding allocated to advance research projects. Artifacts found at the site, such as Han Dynasty coins, tools, and fabrics woven in the Greek and Roman styles, have opened a new window into the cultural exchange between the great civilizations of the ancient world. Once an important part of the Silk Road, the Kingdom of Lulan left us invaluable traces of a golden period in history. From the city walls to the precious artifacts, everything proves that Lulan was not just a trading post, but also a civilization with far-reaching influence. Who knows, perhaps future discoveries will help us learn more about this forgotten era buried beneath the desert sands. The archaeological discoveries we've just explored are only a small part of the countless unsolved mysteries that exist in the world. Undoubtedly, these findings not only amaze us, but also spark an endless curiosity about humanity's past. Each monument, each artifact carries its own unique story, waiting for us to uncover and interpret. So, what do you think about these mysteries? Could there be lost civilizations that we have yet to fully discover? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more exciting videos. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in our next exploration journey.